right, so there's an A major chord progression. An A major chord is being played, but yet I'm soloing minor pentatonic over the top, and it sounds pretty good, okay? So this is a really great concept for you to understand, but I want to make it even easier for you by showing you this. If I was to play A minor pentatonic, it looks like this. If I was to play A major pentatonic, which you have already learned, you play that by going down 1, 2, 3 frets and playing the exact same shape. So the A major pentatonic is sitting right here, first position. The A minor pentatonic is sitting right here, first position, and they are the same shape. Okay? So the cool thing about this is if you've already learned all of your positions in A major pentatonic, they're the same positions in A minor pentatonic, they're just in a different place on the guitar, right? Because in A minor pentatonic, your first position would be here on 5 and 8, which means your second position is going to be on 8 and 10. Your third position is going to be on 10 and 12. Your fourth position is going to be 12 and 15. Fifth position is going to be 15 and 17. But they connect together the exact same way. Now, the question is, well, why does that work? I mean, there's all kinds of questions when you get to this point, but how does that work? Well, if you think about it, in your music theory, you learned that A minor and C major are the same thing. C major has no sharps and flats. A minor has no sharps and flats. Well, as we're learning these pentatonic things, we're learning that if we start on our pinky, over on this side, we're playing major pentatonic. If we start with the first finger and play the exact same shape, we're playing minor pentatonic. Well, think about it. A minor pentatonic is the same as C major pentatonic. C major and A minor are the same thing. Pretty cool, huh? So you can actually see your relative major and minor on your guitar. A major pentatonic is right here. Well, A minor is right, or excuse me, F sharp minor is right there. A major, and F sharp minor are relative major and minor. Okay, so if you want to play an F sharp minor, you'd move down to F sharp and play this. If you want to play an A major, you'd play the exact same thing, but you would emphasize A. So sometimes these concepts take just a little bit of absorption to understand because it can get a little confusing, and that's where you need to stop and go, okay, hold on a second here. Explain this to me, right? So the kind of the hierarchy of understanding here, this whole thing is that we're in a major key, right? For instance, we're in C major, which has no sharps and no flats. And in this key, we get X amount of notes. And we get these chords, 1, 4, 5 are major, and 2, 3, 6 are minor, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Okay? And then we learn that there's actually a minor scale that can come from that major by emphasizing the 6th chord instead of the 1st chord in the key. So we learn that major and minor aren't different keys. They're actually the same key. You're just emphasizing a different note or a different chord. Well, then we take that and we apply it to the fretboard by going, okay, let's learn pentatonic by removing 2 of those 7 notes so it becomes a bit more generic, a bit more useful in the real world when we're not exactly sure of everything that we're doing. This palette, this scale, this pentatonic is a very functional, real scale that we can play. We've got a major pentatonic, we've got a minor pentatonic. But if we come all the way back to the theory that you might know, A minor pentatonic and C major pentatonic are the same scale. Therefore, they're going to play the same notes. A major pentatonic and F sharp minor pentatonic are the same scale, so they're going to play the same notes. But the cool thing above and beyond that is you can actually see how they look the same on your fretboard. If you want C minor pentatonic, you put your first finger on C, play that scale. If you want C major pentatonic, you move down 3 frets, put your pinky on C, play the exact same shape that the minor was, but 3 frets lower. Now you've got your major. Okay? So again, I know it's a lot to absorb, but that's what you need to start learning. So don't rush. Make sure that you get your major pentatonic scale. You understand how to apply that to your fretboard. You don't have any confusion as to what it is. How it works in the real world is a whole nother conversation to have. Okay? But the first thing I want you to do is just understand how it applies to your fretboard, how you went from major diatonic to pentatonic by removing a couple of notes, and how you applied that to your fretboard. And now we've got minor pentatonic, which was minor, but we removed a couple of notes, okay? And how that and major visually look the same. They're just in two different positions on the fretboard. So let me ask you this. If you wanted to play in D minor pentatonic, where would you put your first finger? If you wanted to play D minor pentatonic, you go up to the 10th fret, which is D, you'd put your first finger there, and you'd play this shape. And then your second position and third position and so on would connect from there. If you wanted to play in B major pentatonic, where would you put your pinky? B major pentatonic, you'd put it on the 7th fret. Now why? Because as humans, our brain wants to see the root on the 6th string and then build from there. And then we can expand into the other positions from there, but it's much easier for us to visualize. If somebody says B banana, we want to see the 7th fret of the 6th string. If somebody says F, we want to see the 1st fret. It makes sense for our brain. Instead of going to the 2nd string and then trying to build something off the 2nd string, well, we want to see an entire palette across all 6 strings. We want to see a position, a shape across all 6 strings. So we use that 6th string as a place, as a guide for us to start from. Okay? Just like we talked about before, C major, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, exists all over the fretboard. But the eyes, the brain tends to gravitate to starting on the 8th fret of the 6th string in some capacity, whether it's here or here or here. Okay? But our brain tends to want to gravitate to that because we can see the C on the 6th string. It's a nice place to start from. You see? That doesn't mean you can't play in other places. You can go wherever you want as long as you understand how the positions connect together. So that's the big picture here, is that when you want A major pentatonic, it's everywhere. But a nice place to start from is this position right here with your pinky. If you wanted A minor, it's the same shape, but you start with your first finger on the 5th fret and play it here. Then all the positions connect from there. So if that's confusing, this is a great place to just take a pause, ask some questions, get some answers. Take a step back. If you're moving too fast through all of this stuff, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, what's happening here? Okay, so we've got lots of different scales that we're talking about, and how we visualize them, how they're related to each other, and how we see them on the fretboard, how they connect together, the positions connect together. It's a lot of stuff, and if you're moving too quick through all of them, it can kind of blur